Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thursday Night Drinking Thing Trivia, hosted by myself, yours truly, Doug. I don't really have a nickname for myself because I think that's kind of pretentious to give yourself nicknames. But, as always, my life partner in crime, the one, the only, Lucas Sarge Carver. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing right, brother. Just another day in paradise, wandering around on God's beautiful earth, every day in the big city, and any other weird phrase that I can come up with.
There are big cities in North Carolina?
Charlotte's, you know what? Whatever. Pretty sure that my nickname for you, I don't even know where I came up with it, but it was, you changed it back. Nope, this is the wrong Discord. That's what it is. Sir, where is he at? Sir Dougykins, Sir Durgington the Fourth Esquire, salutations, something else. It was a long thing. It wouldn't let me put it all in there. I'm surprised I didn't add it in the notes.
Where is this? I need to know
my old hokey Discord. Your name is Dougykins Durgington the Fourth.
Oh, Ho House.
It would only let me write that much.
Dougykins Durgington the Fourth. Man, that's been the last time anyone messaged that was in 2021.
Yeah, that Discord got kind of booted when I made my one for Twitch. Probably for the best. There are things in there that no one should know about.
That's probably fair.
Like Mr. Softy.
Yeah, so moving on.
If anyone's wondering, it's an ice cream place. But anyway. It shouldn't be called that.
No, it should not. But anyway, as always, we have 48 questions tonight at 6 rounds, 8 questions apiece. If you are new and you want to play with us, first, scan the QR code, top right corner on our screen, on your screen, whatever. Brings you to TrivNow, or you can go to play.trivnow.com/search, and the search criteria is the 27MP, which I saw that, and I was like, no, that's not a machine gun, or a submachine gun. It's an MP5, because I've been playing way too much Division 2 lately.
That is correct. Hi, Keeney.
Hi, Keeney. So, we'll be playing. Make sure you submit your answers as we go along through the app. That's how you're going to answer. Please don't answer in chat, as always, because really you're just giving the answer away to everyone else who's answering in the app. And you don't want to lose like that. Don't be a punk. Which actually is a good transition into. We don't have very many rules here tonight, but we do have 3. And speaking of don't be a punk, what's our first one?
Our first rule is, as Doug points over his shoulder, don't be a dick. And that's pretty much like not being a punk, but probably the more exaggerated version of that. If you're gonna do something that you have, if your friend would look over you and be like, dude, or dudette, or however you like to be greeted, that's kind of being a dick. Then don't do it.
Hi, Mama Fafro.
Don't attack your fellow. Hey, Mama Fafro. Don't attack your fellow trivia goers. Don't attack your friends or family at home. Don't come after anyone here. Just play your game of trivia and come after the hosts, because we're here for it. Because we're probably going to come at you. Yep. That's not being a dick. That's just all in good fun. Until it's being a dick, in which point we refer to revert the.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
We refer to rule number 1, and we don't be a dick. Easy peasy.
Which is exactly what.
So hard-headed, and another great segue. We follow rule number 2, which is rule number 1. Don't be a dick. Ben right now in the middle of intro, possibly being a dick. We'll get to those in a second because we're gonna share what we're drinking, and it's always fun. But everybody gets dehydrated. That's not being a dick. That's living up to the rule of the game, which is drink and think trivia. And as Doug giggles at Ben's hilarity, rule number 3: you do you, boo boo. Do your own thing. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. As long as you're not being a dick. Let your freak flag fly. Nope. See, nope. It's not tonight. Tonight is not the night.
It's not the
Let
night.
the freak flag fly.
There
Do
we
your
go.
own thing. Have a good time. Just don't mess with anybody else. That would refer you back to rule 1 or rule 2. Easy peasy. Those are the rules.
How many points you got saved up, Ben? Because you're going after everybody. I don't. Austin hasn't watched the stream in like a year.
All I'd like to say is that if you have unlimited,
Oh, all hosts. There we go.
I have 52,000 points, so I could do a lot of dehydrating if I wanted to.
I think we need. I think you get like 60 every 15 minutes or something like that, or 50 every 60.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can stack a bunch. But yeah, those are the rules. Like Doug said, 48 questions, standard trivia round tonight. We got current events. We got the popular round, speed records, beer labels. Yeah, slightly more than me. Let's see, brand names, and last but not least, Dungeons and Dragons. So, a little bit of everything for you tonight. We're going to have a good time. I'm sure you all will do well. And before we kick it off with Doug's favorite round, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
I'm drinking Kurz because
Cheers!
yeah, because I still have a shit ton of beer from my bachelor party.
I'm drinking the vintage because, okay. Kenny watched 3 consecutive streams. Way to go, Kenny. You're doing great. Thank you, Doug, for your resubscription. For some reason, I think that you're less than me.
I am. You
which
are
is hilarious.
You are at 13. So you've subscribed 16 total months, but 13 in a
13
row.
in a row.
I've only done 11 and not consecutively, which is a little more.
I am the captain now.
Look at me. I don't know.
Look at
That's
me.
the first time I've ever seen has watched 3 consecutive streams this month. But I feel like other people have consecutively watched our streams. But Kenny's special. It's cool.
You would think, but I am like I was saying, I'm going back to the vintage. I haven't been to the grocery store, so you just get bottled Mountain Dew tonight.
Yeah.
I don't even have it in a can. Oh, how many months, Ben? You don't have oh, how many months do you have? Does Ben subscribe? You know, I'd have to go look somewhere.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Neon green juice. I don't remember. I forget things. Oh Lord. But anyway, so that's what we're drinking. That's what we're doing. Y'all know what's going on. It's potentially time for us to go do actual trivia things. Maybe.
Announcements real quick. I guess monthly trivia theme night will be wrestling this month. Wrestling. WWE, AEW, NJPW, ECW, WCW, all that good stuff. So all of those wrestlers you remember from back in the day, or if you're more of a newer person to watch wrestling, we'll have that stuff too. Which, I mean, honestly, by putting AEW in there, we're putting like more current wrestling in there anyway. So
we're doing it all.
Everything from the origins of to I'm actually kind of psyched. I'll give you a hint for our 50-50 round is American Gladiator or WWE, which I'm super psyched about, and I hope Ryan does an awesome job with it.
I have faith in him.
So those are announcements, I believe, but we don't have any other big stuff going on.
Yep, I think that's about it. So, ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready if you are. Let's jump into current events.
Current events, kicking off the day, and guess what? I'm the top gifter now. I get the golden package.
Okay, so just as a Ben put this out there, poor Wardlow only had the belt for 2 days, title for only 4. So my buddy Marvin and I have wanted to go on the Chris Jericho wrestling cruise for like the last however long it's been going on. I saw the announcement today, and what was it, yesterday, I think? Was it today or yesterday? I saw the announcement, and I posted it to our Facebook, or not our Facebook group, our Facebook chat. And I looked up like rooms, and the only rooms that are available, there's like, of like 7 different possibilities for rooms, there's only like 2 kinds of rooms available, and they're both shit. And I'm like, it's a year out. It's more than a year out, which is,
dude, it's crazy how ridiculously popular stuff like that is that quickly. Like, it's mind-boggling.
Although I guess because it's, what's it called? Like AEW is like co-sponsoring the cruise. I guess it's a lot more popular, but oh well.
Still, that's pretty awesome.
Well,
sad that you can only get a crappy room, but
I mean,
if I'm one day.
If I'm going to a wrestling cruise, then I'm not staying in my room for very long. So
I was about to say, I imagine there'll be plenty of things to do that aren't sit in your room.
Especially like Fozzy playing, because if you want to see Chris Jericho in a band that's named after a Muppet,
it's gonna be great.
That's gonna be the Drink and Think cruise. Is we're going to get like you, me, Marvin, Ben, a couple other people. We're gonna go. We're gonna have a 7-day cruise and do trivia every night, and somehow
on what, man? A dinghy?
Yeah.
We're gonna be out in a bass tracker somewhere on Lake Norman in Charlotte. Welcome to the pontoon, baby! Trivia time!
It'll be on Lake Anna in Virginia with us just like glowing from the radiation. It'll be great.
It's gonna be perfect. Alright, before we get any more off topic, we're on to current events. Y'all know what time it is. First round of the week, as always, where it belongs. Let's start with geography. Japan recently did a survey of how many islands are in their boundaries. They found how many new islands? So let me know how many new islands Japan now has found.
Yeah.
That apparently they owned and forgot.
Yeah, it's within their like national border or whatever, because it includes water area and yeah.
Water, earth, air, fire. 6 answers in. I don't know why I'm on Avatar. The correct answer here is 7,000. They lost track of 7,000 islands. It's a bunch of little teeny tiny dot islands, but still, that's a lot.
So the UN's definition of an island is a body of land surrounded by water that is still above water at high tide. So
okay, that makes sense. So even if there's a rock out there, it counts if at high tide it's not underwater.
Correct. So this was the first year I guess they used orbital satellites to do the survey of their, because they only do the survey once every like 20 years or something like that, and this year they're like, hey, we have technology, let's use it. And they're like, oh, hey, look at all this other, they're uninhabited islands too, so it's just land.
Seems like a really good way to monitor the rising of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, we lost 2,000 islands. One of them was 2 meters tall, but that doesn't matter.
What do you mean you lost an island? It was there and now it's not. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
It's gone, man. What do you want from me? Oh, Ben, you racist bastard. Next question.
So the Oscars are coming up. What controversial Chinese actor has been announced as the host?
Is it hold on, Will Smith? Is it Will Smith?
Will Smith isn't Chinese, but no, it's not Will Smith. Will Smith has self-imposed a ban of 10 years. That is the dumbest thing too. He's banned himself for 10 years, but he can still win the Oscar. He just won't go.
No. Wait, did he ban him? I thought they banned him.
Oh, sorry, yeah, they banned him for 10 years.
They banned him, but he can still win the Oscar, which I think is hilarious.
Yep.
Yes, I'm well aware that Will Smith isn't Chinese. I just couldn't help myself.
I mean, he smacked Chris Rock so hard he looked Chinese for half a second. Oh!
Oh, Chris Rock literally is doing his, like, newest comedy thing, and it's all about the slap, and people are apparently getting mad at him for profiting off the slap.
Dude got beat, so like, stupid. Smacked the hell out of on public TV. Like, I would cash in on that any chance I could.
Bro, all I'm saying, just gonna quote Cat Williams real quick. Shouldn't been talking shit.
So there's my favorite bit on SNL is Weekend Update, but the ones where they write jokes for each other before they're not allowed to read them until like day up. It's like Che wrote for Colin Jost that
Oh, I know what you do.
he was like said that Martin Luther King Jr. killed himself. And well, yeah, of course he kind of killed himself because he was the one he was the one who decided to keep talking or something like that.
He's the one who started it or something. No,
Yeah.
What my favorite part of those is when he looks at him. He's like, "You're gonna get me killed."
Right.
And then he reads the thing.
Well, he like finishes it and he's just like, "Why?"
Speaking of which, give the answer. Let's go to the next question. I got a thing for you.
So the answer is Donnie Yen. For those who don't know, Donnie Yen's played Ip Man or IP Man. And also he was the blind Jedi Temple guardian from Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yep.
But he.
Why is it controversial?
So petitions go around because he has ties to the communist Chinese government, and his anti-democracy views for Hong Kong. He's been calling the protests in Hong Kong riots, which is kind of Chinese Chinese propaganda. But yeah.
Boo. All right. A new company has entered the reusable rocket arena. Relativity? Relativity? Relativity. It is relativity, isn't it? Relativity space?
Yep.
While the first launch yesterday was scrapped, which of these is not what makes these new rockets different from others?
Not. So which of these is the... Which of these doesn't apply to their new rocket? But anyway, you were saying.
So speaking of those funny things, have you seen the Survivor episode of Game Changer?
Yes.
Our team name is Martin Luther King's Dream. Our team name is now Martin Luther King's Second Dream. Also, I love you. You're gonna have to roll with trivia for a minute. I'll be right back.
All right.
My tummy really hurts.
He gonna go poop. All right, so the answer is that it is the lightest rocket to date. It is not the lightest rocket to date. What it is the first rocket that is almost fully 3D printed. It is fully run off of natural gas fuel. It is liquid oxygen, I believe, is the fuel source. And it's made of 100% recyclable material. So once they're done with the rockets, they can recycle them. So currently the rocket is 85% 3D printed, but the final product, because they're still only in beta, well, testing or whatnot, final product would be 95% or more 3D printed. All right, number 4. It looks like science fiction horror may become reality. Scientists were able to revive a zombie what that had spent more than 48,500 years frozen in permafrost. See, this is how you start every. This is the article from every zombie movie ever, and somehow they're gonna find a way. Like this thing makes people. Oh, right, the 2 other games we're playing tonight, which I'm surprised Mama Fafro hasn't keyed in yet with, is. If you catch us that we have spelled something wrong, whether in the answers or in the question, exclamation point, grammar, Grammar, that'll make us drink. Also, if we accidentally give you an answer, you can just put exclamation point free, and that will point us out, and it will give us, I think I'm more upset that, Lucas is texting from the toilet than I am that we forgot grammar. But yeah, so the answer is after 48,500 years frozen in permafrost, scientists have been able to wake up a zombie virus. Yeah, so we're now one science lab break in away from Resident Evil now. Huzzah. Again, this is how somehow they're gonna find like a cure for cancer with this virus. Like, oh yeah, like if you use this virus, it'll cure the plague or I don't know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, one of the side effects is you become a walking flesh thingy. If I had a wireless Mama Favreau, if I had a wireless headset with a mic, I would 100% go into the bathroom to do trivia 100% from the bathroom. So, number 5, Nelly Shaboy has been named CNN's Hero of the Year for doing what in Kenyan schools? At least he's not talking to us. I mean, technically he is talking to us while he's pooping. He's just talking to us from beyond the mic. And Kenny, why do you want to watch him poop? That just seems weird. No one's got yet. Who are we missing? We are missing Scrappy and Tiny. So we have Krusty the Bunghole, Bunghole Gacy. Oh, it's all clowns. Alright. The answer is making computer labs. So starting with her own money, Miss Chaboy was able to later raise money to bring computer labs to these schools to help teach kids STEM, help with getting them access to better jobs down the road. That's TP. It looks like two alien eyes, like, to the side watching. That's okay, TP. Got it. It's a weird-ass TP. Number 6. We had to do at least some sports. Jim something. A Hall of Fame coach announced his retirement from what school after 47 years there? I didn't spell the name wrong, though. Hall of Fame coach retired from school after 47 years. Where? Alright, we got a couple in. Missing one. There we go. The answer is Syracuse. Oh, yes, it is of. It's instead of FO, it's of. Kenny got that, not Mama Fafro. I am disappointed in Mama Fafro for like, but also kind of proud of Kenny. There we go. All right, the answer is Syracuse, the orange. All right, number 7. Some children are just too good for this world. An 8-year-old found out the waiter serving him at what restaurant was living in a motel and proceeded to raise $100,000 for him to move somewhere else. This is also up there for, like, you know, when those kids raise money for the janitor to retire. This is up there with them. Like, the dude works a full-time job and can't afford to live anywhere. Well, the hint was in the GIF. It is Waffle House because there are fights there all the time, and they probably look like that. Alright, last question. This is a free response and a wager. Oh, whoa, one sec. I caught that. Thank God. Nope. 1 second. Wager 7. Speed bonus 0. Wait, what? There we go. Free wager 0. Save. That was my num lock. That was what's screwing up. Oh, there it is. Cool. Alright, so this is your wager. One more sports question. In women's basketball, what school won the ACC championship tournament this week? Yeah, it's good. Going to bed. I haven't talked to him. He jumped on 10 seconds before. Duca? You spelled Duke wrong, I think, Bunghole Gacy. Adolf Hitler of acceptance and equality. I don't know how to handle you people.
You people? What do you mean by you people?
There's a wager. I put a wager in.
I
I didn't.
Guessing that's what you caught, and then you screwed it up anyway because you forgot to change the type by accident. Still.
Yep. I just added how many points the speed was worth, not the. Well then.
Hold on. I need to now type into chat since they've all answered anyway, because I wanted to do this, but I also didn't want to spoil the answer. Let me go put all my turkeys in here. Want it. Need it in my life. Why did Twitch run away from me? Why are so many people streaming that aren't us? Trivia is the most important tonight. Let's turn Doug down. Actually, that was me talking. Can we use the turkey? I'm just gonna write turkey and post it. It's not at all what I wanted to do. This is shenanigans. I am disappointed. Figured it out. I got there finally. I want to know how it's going to interpret this, because the turkey is a...
Yay.
That's kind of a turkey. Anyway. Alright. So correct answer, as should be alluded to by all the celebration and the weird stuff Doug and I have done, is...
Virginia Tech. Not only is the first time Virginia Tech has won the championship in program history for the women's, it's also the first time a black male coach has won the ACC tournament as well.
He's the only black male coach, I believe, in women's basketball right now, too.
Correct.
It's pretty crazy. Why didn't you like to say Boeheim's name, by the way?
I thought it was Boeheim, and I figured I was wrong, so I wasn't gonna say it.
And Jim Boeheim. Gotcha. Because don't you remember Buddy Boeheim constantly beats the crap out of Tech, and Ben's curious if something's wrong with me. I assume that's because I just wanted to put turkeys because Virginia Tech won it, Ben. But all right, you want to do the scoreboard, or you want to roll into the next one? Also, I love Pizza Hut, but Pizza Hut does not love my internals. I can pretty much clock it from a half an hour, and that's just how life goes for me. But I will eat Pizza Hut because it's my favorite.
This
is how it is.
Let's jump into the next one.
I want to be popular, Doug. You want to be popular?
I want to be popular.
In this round,
I want to be popular.
It doesn't matter who you are or fancy. I'm sorry. She sings through her nose. I'm gonna give you a thing, and I want you to tell me. Also, I'd like to point out it took me like a week to write this sentence because it's really hard to say. I want to write a round where I give you a thing, and I want you to tell me what the most popular version of that thing is. It's a very confusing statement.
Why don't you just write it just like that?
Well, I did eventually, Douglas. Some of us don't have grammatical brains. Anyway, basically, we're going to give you the thing. For example, this first round is fast food restaurants. I want you to tell me what is the most popular. And by most popular, I went to multiple websites. I pulled a bunch of things online. And generally, it's the one that produces the most revenue. And that actually comes into play later in the round. But generally, if you make the most money, we assume you're the most popular, because that's how America works. Also, most of these are worldwide. It's pretty much how the world works. But anyway, and I'm done explaining this, and 5 people have answered. Then I heard we have clown names, because I didn't miss a beat while on the toilet, but I did wash my hands. I'm waiting on Bunghole Gacy.
Who has a violation detection?
We're gonna give him credit, but
yep.
Gacy, we're giving you the benefit of the doubt because everybody knows you're an upstanding citizen. But if we find stuff on the cross space, it's not gonna be good. You all brought this upon yourself. I know way too much about true crime. The correct answer is McDonald's. So as for quick service restaurant magazine, quick service restaurants, they do studies where they analyze how much money they make, how much like people go in, market shares. They like 5-year breakdowns. It's Mickey D's, hands down. They are the most popular restaurant in the world.
So let's shift to the video game console wars. What is the most popular / best-selling video game system of all time?
Now, Marvin argued me this last night, but we went and checked this. And as of currently, this is still the one that holds the record.
Barely. It is. It is clinging.
Minuscule. It blew my mind. I'll be honest with you. But anyway, hockey's on tonight too. Are y'all playing tonight? Also, who's your new goalie with the yellow pads? By the way.
Oh, friggin'
Kincaid, was that his name?
We played 9.
I saw it pop up. I saw it pop up on the Steve's Dang It's online, and it was a Avalanche goalie in yellow pads, and I was like, I don't recognize him.
Oh, we play. Oh, what's his name? I want goaltending leaders. I want.
What was the answer?
Answer is the PS2, which still holds the record. People are still buying it today too.
IGN updated themselves February 2023, and the Switch and the PS5 are climbing, but as of February, the PS2 has sold 159 million units. The Nintendo DS is at 154 million, the Switch is at 122 million. Game Boy 118 and the PlayStation 4 117. But the PS5 is climbing quickly. So I want to say the PS5 is somewhere, it's already at like 40 million. And it's only been out for 1 year. So
yeah, people been
going
hard.
That thing. But anywho, next one is people still drive cars, right? I was literally listening to a NASCAR podcast the other day that had like an old NASCAR guy, and he's like, do kids still really care about cars? Most of them don't even get their license half the time. What's the most popular car brand worldwide by sales in 2022? I very badly wanted to grammar you while I was on the toilet, but I was too slow. Kenny got the of. The cool thing about this one was the notes part of this, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, I was listening to one of my favorite NASCAR drivers podcast from back in 2017. He's like, yeah, we all got into driving. What's the PS2 number? 159 million with an asterisk? I'm confused what's happening.
Buy.
Yeah, no, the buy makes sense. There are 2 buys. I screwed that one up. That's Ben's license plate. Nice.
Oh shit, yeah. So that is true. The buy is incorrect.
Yeah, it is. I wrote too many buys. So.
Bye.
Yeah, it's 159 million. Sold with an asterisk because it's always hard to tell. But the most popular car brand currently, as of 2022, sales was Toyota. Now in America, Ford caught Toyota because of the F-150. Apparently, the F-150 is the most popular vehicle in the United States.
And it'll be the same shit they do if they ever come out with a all-electric truck, which they already have. It's called the F-150, but it's not an F-150 because it's the same friggin' thing they did with the Mustang, is to get credit for your EV sales, you have to sell a certain number of that model. It doesn't matter if that model is gas or EV. So Ford slapped the Mustang title on their EV card.
So when they sell a regular Mustang, they get credit toward their EVs. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So
that's bullshit, but it's brilliant.
So they came out with their F-150 EV that isn't an F-150 in any way, shape, or form. It is itty bitty. And I think they've only sold something like 1,000 of them to date. But it's titled F-150, so they get the tax credit for it.
Ta-da! We're protecting the planet.
Seriously, the F1 or the Mustang EV looks closer to a Kia
Sorento. It looks like the SUV. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep. All right.
What you got?
Shifting back to our nerd culture, what about laptops? What was the most popular laptop by sales in 2022?
Not gonna lie. This one blew my mind.
I know exactly where all these sales are coming from too.
I know, right? I pulled this up and then I went and checked it like a billion times and then I fact checked it and then I went and looked at the numbers and then I went back again and I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Wait, what did I get?
Oh, what did we grammar? What are we getting grammared
What
for?
did I do wrong? Did I spell popular wrong? What? You don't have to capital.
Laptops. Oh,
Laptops.
that's how you spelled it. Cheers.
What happened? Good job, Mama Fefero. What's the grammar count at tonight? Were we supposed to reset that one?
No, I thought that was a month-long one.
I thought the free questions was the month-long one and the grammars was weekly. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Keep it rolling, baby. All right, what's the most popular laptop, Doug? And tell us why you think that is that way.
It's Lenovo, and I'm 90% sure it's because every fucking high school in America has bought these laptops because everyone had that little red nubbin of a mouse in between the F and G, the G and the H key. For if you're a 90s baby, that's what you had was a Lenovo. They didn't buy HPs, they didn't buy Apples, they bought so like the school district I used to work for did a full rollout of like every kid got a laptop. They were like one of the first in the States, something like that. No, they were all Lenovo's. It's like this is BS.
I think also what I was thinking when you said that, I think a lot of companies buy Lenovo's because they can buy them in mass.
Yeah.
For cheaper. But yeah, they hold a quarter of the shipped laptop sales in 2022. The next highest was HP with 19%. It's nuts. I believe that's you. So I did the laptop question.
Wait, I just gave the whatever. What is the most popular selling soda of all time?
I'd have to think now. Maybe I did.
Should be Dr. Pepper.
No. Well, it should be.
The best tasting cola of all time.
Yeah, you read that question and gave the answer, so I should have read the Coca-Cola question. I screwed up.
The what question?
Well, all 6 answers are in, so it's the Coca-Cola question.
The answer is Coca-Cola.
It's the Coca-Cola question, man. No, I mean, read the friggin' note.
Yeah, it's a double
By
Pepsi sales.
Coke is the king. Diet Coke is number 2, and then it almost triples Pepsi's sales. That's how crazy it is. People adore Coke. I don't know why. I mean, it's not bad. It's just way too fizzy for me. Sticking in my favorite category, what's the most popular / best-selling candy bar of all time? And by the way, this is hard to figure out because everybody's like, oh, you want to know about Halloween? You like candy? Tell me about Halloween. Literally everything that pulled up, like Good Mythical Morning's rankings of candies through Halloween, like newspaper articles about Halloween candy, all this other stuff. It took me so long to find an article about candy bars.
Love me some Good Mythical Morning though.
Nah, big facts. Me and Kim watch it pretty much every night, which is hilarious to me. We watch Good Mythical Morning at night. I don't know why. We're weird. I guess probably because their show would be on at 10 here because they are California boys.
Yep.
Even though they're North Carolina boys. We're waiting on my wife. But she busy. She's pondering. She said go ahead. So the correct answer here is the Snickers. Super serious research. And as many things as I can find say it's Snickers. They sell about finally I found an article that gave me sales. They sell about 2 billion annually compared to, I think, 1 billion Toblerones. Toblerone was number 2. Which blew my mind because I thought Toblerone was like specific to a certain region of the United States, not like the best candy bar.
No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Toblerone's amazing because I mean, all it is
never had one.
It's just milk chocolate and caramel. That's all it is.
Probably
which
would
is,
explain why I wouldn't care about it.
but I
Much
mean,
chocolate.
like,
I love
it's
caramel.
well, it's more caramel than it is chocolate. Like, it's literally like it's a housing of chocolate for a shit ton of caramel. Like, that's it. That's the whole bar.
So basically, it's a better Carmelo bar.
Yes, 100%.
Ooh,
But
I'm not trying
it comes in little sections where, like, so the box is in a triangle because it's supposed to be the Swiss Alps, and
Gotcha.
like the whole triangle, like when you it's kind of like a Hershey's bar where like you snap off little sections, but like every little section is like 90% caramel, and then just like a covering of chocolate that's stiff to make sure that the caramel stays in one spot. It's amazing.
I think I should try one of these. I'm now like I'm in. I gotta go find one. Anyway,
I watch TV, you watch TV, we all watch TV. What streaming service has the most subs worldwide?
if someone does this, I will give them credit for it. All right, Mama
No.
Fafro grammared. I want to know what she's grammaring because there's something I spelled wrong in here. I'm sure. Category?
Category?
I don't have category written in here.
Oh, it's the last question.
Oh, I wanted her to grammar this one because I wrote this as I watch TV, you watch TV. We all watch TV? Because it was a question mark, but you just powered through it. And I was going to give her grammatical credit for you not reading the question mark. But category. Did I screw that up? Did you go back and check it? Fair enough. I can't spell.
Category.
Category.
Yeah. Missing.
Stranger Things? How about weirder stuff? Are we missing Kim again? Yeah. Go ahead. She's working on something.
The answer is Netflix.
Netflix! I love how I said that Netflix barely edged out Amazon by 40 million.
Yeah.
It's 200 million subscribers to 240 million. It's actually an insane amount. Last but not least, it's the curveball round, and y'all know what I do in the curveball round. I never play by the rules. What is the most hated band of all time? This was determined by many websites with multiple metrics. Good luck.
But-
They are classified as the most hated band.
But you know what metric they still exceed in for some fucking reason is sales.
Sales. The most hated band of all time, and they have excellent sales.
Oh yeah, they're like
So,
consistently in the top 50 like album sales, which is bullshit.
Basically, several websites took the worst bands of all time and ranked them with their writers. Several like new brand ranks. So I was trying to remember. I don't know what that means. Okay, sorry. Kim got a blood sugar tester set today, and her sugar's good, which she was concerned about. So she showed me the number, which means nothing to me because I'm not a doctor. So like the Rolling Stones of the world and all those, their whole people like graded bands. Then they did the most overrated bands of all time, and then they took all of those, assigned them numbers, and said, all right, here is your hate rating. And undoubtedly, Nickelback scored a 99.9. They're classified as the most overrated band of all time, and they rank highly in everybody's worst bands of all time. And they also rate poorly in worst guitar players of all time. Like, people hate Nickelback, man, and I don't. We have discussed it before as a group. I don't get it. I like me Nickelback. If you don't, that's fine. But they're fine. To me, they're no different than any other band that finds their thing and sticks to it.
Yeah, Nickelback for me, I like. I don't mind them. I really don't. Like when they come on, I'm not gonna change the channel. But
it just blows my mind that people will like throw temper tantrums and like. Wasn't there the one night where something happened and they were like the halftime show and people left the venue for the sports event? Like, didn't they perform for the Lions or something crazy?
Yeah.
And like the fans just left.
I feel like hating Nickelback is like
thing.
just popular. Like it's not. Yeah.
It's like loving the Beatles.
Like
That's what popular kids do.
They're not inherently bad. Like they're not the worst band ever. They're not the best band. Like they are very much a mid-tier
band.
They're a mid-tier band. Like they're not.
I would say they're a mid to upper tier Canadian rock band.
Yeah, there are bands that I hear like their songs come on and I'm like, turn that shit off. And like Nickelback comes on and I'm like, meh, okay, cool. And then like life goes on. Like someone announced at some point that Nickelback sucked, and everyone was like, yeah. And yet still they go on tour and sell out every venue they go to. Like
I had a girl while we were in college that I went on a date on, and she found a Nickelback CD in my car, and she got out. We got to where we were going, and she just left. You like Nickelback? And I was like, yeah, kinda. And she was like, well, I can't ride with you. And I was like, okay, cool. just went on my merry way. But
bye.
The one, I think it was the Rolling Stone article, their first thing was like, art is subjective. There are people who don't like the Beatles, which I think is funny because I don't enjoy the Beatles. I don't like 60s music all that much, which is an unpopular opinion I am well aware of. But like the idea that there's this band that is just so hated that you can say, hey, what's the most hated band of all time? And half of our audience knew who it was is crazy to me.
I feel like with like, so it's like saying you don't like the Beatles. It's as subjective as it is. It's like every band goes through phases. Unless you're a one-hit wonder, if you're a band that maintains, like the Beatles were around for hell. Even Paul McCartney's still around.
I adore McCartney and Wings music because I like McCartney's voice.
Right.
I like Yellow Submarine. There are Beatles songs I like. I just generically don't like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how can you
discredit the whole
how can you say I hate Nickelback when Nickelback's been around for how many decades at this point? Like there was a period they played good songs for your tastes. Don't say the entire band sucks. Go fuck yourself.
Where they range from How I Remind You to Side of a Bullet to whatever that like weird what was that like love song of the world they put out in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And now they're doing like heavy rock. Like that new San Quentin song is like Metallica-esque. Like it's nuts to me. But we have rambled about Nickelback for way too long and lost any random viewer that has stopped by because it's unpopular to like Nickelback.
All right, well, let's go to our scoreboard. In first place, Scrappy and Tiny, 32.424. Second place, Bunghole Gacy, 31.972. Third place, 24.223 is Krusty the Bunghole. Bunghole Spalding with 23.665. 19.347. And Bungy Two-Hole with 8.685. All right. Let's jump on to our next round. I think this is you.
Speed records. In this round, I'm going to name a category. And I want you to tell me what holds the speed record in that category. First one, humans. What holds the speed record? So who, in this particular category, holds a speed record for humans in running? Who is the fastest human on Earth?
Shouldn't it be whom? I don't know. I actually don't know, but
is it? I don't know.
I know.
Nerd. We discussed that.
I know it's for whom and the bell tolls, but
for whom the bell tolls. Yeah. Thank you, Metallica. what Zombieland? That's what kicks off that movie. Is they played For Whom the Bell Tolls while all the movies kicking off.
Bell tolls.
The correct answer here, which everyone easily clicked off, and my accidental terrible Jamaican accent may have given away, is Usain Bolt. Man, that man is fast.
And Usain Bolt did not do the dab; he did the thunderbolt.
Made a bolt.
Yeah.
He been clocked, they believe. While Steve Mullings holds the record for the fastest 100-meter sprint, Bolt was recorded around 27.5 miles an hour during his winning run at the Berlin World Championships in 2009. So almost 28 miles an hour. The crazy thing about that is when you drive 25 miles an hour in your car, you think you're walking. but a
Yeah.
human running that fast is insane.
So I remember someone doing a like video analysis of Forrest Gump, seeing the GIF that Forrest Gump had to be running something like 35 miles an hour to be able to run like this touchdown he was playing for Alabama into that first scene where they give him the ball and he's like, "Oh, I got this, cool," and just goes like, "Blah." Like if for how
does not abide by your rules.
For how quick the scene was, they didn't do it by like all they had to go off was time of the scene, and where he started off to the end zone, he had to have been running 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, man, he was in a hurry. What do you want from the man?
Yeah. I mean, he did outrun a truck. Like, let's.
I like to run, dude. That was Forrest Gump's thing.
Yep. Why'd you run all this way? I like to run.
I like to run.
All right, roller coasters. Which one is the fastest?
This is very much a Ryan question.
Yeah. So they're.
You like it at roller coasters?
I forget the NASCAR one at King's Dominion is my absolute favorite.
I'm surprised that one of the ones from Carowinds didn't make this list, because we have the NASCAR one as well. We have the Intimidator, but they had like the Hive or the B360, I think. Dude, that's the fastest thing I've ever been on. Nuts. And King's Dominion and Carowinds are owned by the same company, so I assume the racing one is almost identical to the Intimidator.
It is the Intimidator.
Okay.
It's called the Intimidator.
Good. Didn't get to ride that one, which makes me sad. I rode the other one.
I rode that. There was one day it was raining. We went. It was like me, Sydney, and a couple of the Nova people went down there, and it was raining. I rode that ride like 4 times in a row, to the point that I lost my balance, because like you almost black out in the first turn because you're pulling something like 3 Gs. And so like I got the whole like tunnel vision coming in, and then you pull out of it and it's just like, woo! I'm like, oh, that's great. Do it again, because no one's in line. And then by the end, everyone got off like, I have a headache, and I'm like, I do too, but let's keep going. Like, no, we're leaving. I'm like, I guess I have to leave too. Damn it.
Also, you're definitely weren't generating 3 Gs, because have you checked the notes for this?
Yeah, I see that. Yes, I was. Yeah.
It was a little less.
It was less than
unless
that,
it's a duration thing. But no, a lot.
No, it's a duration thing, because like you drop in and there's a big circle with the entire time that you're holding. I gotcha. I forget what it is, but it's
nuts.
Like you're holding it the whole time at almost a 90-degree angle, and then you pull up out of it, and that's the whole ride. It's just the drop, the turn, and then you go wee, and then there's like a little back and forth, and you're back to the station.
That's nuts. All right, what's the answer?
The answer is
on the phone with her mother.
Formula Rossa Ferrari World on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. I've always wanted to go to Cedar Point. All the rest of these. Six Flags Great Adventure, I guess, could be a feasible thing. But anyway, Formula Rossa, 149.1 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds, which generates 1.7 Gs.
Oh, that's
just
its
92-second ride time.
That's the launch.
That's what. No. So this, yeah, but
it at top speed. Okay.
During its whole ride. So it's over the 92 seconds. You're getting 1.7 Gs spread out. So you could experience like 6 Gs at the beginning, and then way less, and it balances back down. So critiquing your 3 Gs may be incorrect. It probably could be that. What is the fastest car? All of these excellent options. Aston Martin, McLaren, Bugatti, and Koenigsegg. The only reason I would ever know how to say that is because of Top Gear.
Yep.
These are all European cars. I'm showing 5 of 6. I'm missing my wife. She's on the phone with her mother. The correct answer here is the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. The Absolute can reach 310 miles an hour. And I would go ahead and wager that they tested that on the Nuremberg Ring, because that's where you go really, really fast in the world.
Yep. There's one of the previous times that I went to Top Golf up in Ashburn, there's not a Koenigsegg dealership right outside of it. As I'm driving by, there was a Jesco in neon green, or like that lime neon green out front, and I point out, that's a Jesco. I forget who I was driving with, and like, what the hell is that? I'm like, it's like the fastest car ever. And like, why are they selling it? It's road legal.
'Cause why not?
Oh, 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 oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
Yeah, go
oh.
ahead.
The aircraft. What's the fastest aircraft? What's the fastest aircraft?
So anyway, while Doug,
Sorry.
why do you like aircraft? Why do you like planes so much?
Why
Your dad was
not?
in the Navy, right?
He was a pilot in the Navy.
That's fair. Okay. See, I was curious where your love of planes come from. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, Douglas. I love my father. I don't talk about shingles or metal roofing constantly. You have a mild obsession with planes.
I have a mild obsession with planes because my first PlayStation game was Ace Combat.
Was Ace Combat. There it is. I understand. That's fair. That is a fair assessment. Ace Combat was an amazing game.
I have no love of like commercial planes and things like that. It's like when the Airbus A380 came out, I'm like, it looks like a whale. When like the F-22 came out, I was like, yes, it goes so fast.
Kenny, I have no problem with planes. Planes are cool, but you have to remember that, like, I think during the war round, planes came up and Doug almost jizzed his pants over that. Then last week, I think there was a question about either not an M16, but the good night. What's the standard American aircraft that I can't think of right now?
The A-10.
No, F-16. Because the M16, like an F-16. I have no problem with planes. I think they're cool. But yeah, I am very upset that Doug loves planes more than me. He spends time building models and they're phallic shaped. That's why he likes them, because he doesn't like mine. Okay, anyway, what's the correct answer?
That would be the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, which was the successor to the U-2, which the U-2 was actually the thing that got shot down over Cuba, which caused that whole big ass incident. The SR-71, when it turns to make a U-turn, it measures its distance in states. Like if you want to make a U-turn in the U.S. to go back to base, they measure it in states.
Y'all, see my point? Does Doug ever talk about me this way? No.
So the experimental X-15, also known as the Black Star, which is not actually its name, but because of Top Gun Maverick, everyone wants to call it the Black Star. So it's the Black Star is essentially a rocket-launched airplane, which is just stupid. They attach it to a plane, they get that plane up to the highest speed it possibly can, and then they fire a missile off. That's the plane.
That's amazing.
So the I made a big deal about when we did our engagement photos. I really wanted to go to the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum.
So cool.
So we have a bunch of pictures with the SR-71, with the space shuttle, with a bunch of other stuff. So there's one of the pictures I think we actually we'll have at our wedding will be us with the SR-71.
Nice. It's gonna be good. All right. I believe the next one is mine, and it is the fastest animal in flight. Not while they're diving, while in flight. He clarified that, so there's probably a reason. That is good.
Yeah. That Air and Space Cheers.
I mean, I got one a minute ago, so.
Just do...
We go for evensies. You shouldn't be able to do it to me. You should have...
No!
Yeah, because I just got it. Joe Titus hit me with it after ruining our love life with planes.
But But yeah, for those of you who've seen Transformers and they say, "Oh, we're going to the Smithsonian to see the SR-71," they actually went to the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum, also known as the Dulles Air and Space Museum. So that scene where the SR-71 turns into a Decepticon, that is at the Dulles Air and Space Museum.
Nice. The fastest animal in flight is the white-throated needletail swift. The swift is recorded at speeds of 105 miles an hour during flight. The peregrine falcon can only reach its high speeds while diving. Kim and her parents took me there like the first time we went to DC, so it was pretty cool.
That's such a cool museum.
It really is. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Seeing their, like, just, so we went over to their, what's it called? Where they fix up the planes, where they find the old planes and they're fixing them up and all that in the the restoration center or whatever. One of them was like,
that's basically what I would call it.
One of them was like Amelia Earhart's first, like when we were there last, it was like Amelia Earhart's first plane she ever flew in, they were restoring. And I'm like, that's bonkers to me.
That's crazy that they have that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they were working on something in one of those when we were there too. And it blows my mind that you find that stuff and then it's restorable even. Like it hasn't just fallen apart.
And people who are that specific are like, yeah, like, my major in college was restoring this single engine blah 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 from 1974. This is the only plane I know how to restore my entire life. And they're like, you're hired.
That's it. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
It's true.
One of them, the other one is the Enola Gay is in the Udvar Hazy Center, which is what dropped one of the
atomic bombs
on Japan.
Yep. You want to have go ahead and read the next question so I can teach you history real quick.
Fastest land animal.
Let's see here. I'm trying to remember.
As we were walking around, we came across, like, you come across one of the bridges and that's you can see into the cockpit of the Enola Gay. And I was with Allie's parents and like, what? You know, this is a really big plane. What is this? So it's like, oh, it's a bomber. It's a World War II bomber. Because on one side there's no markings whatsoever. And I was like, it looks familiar though. Like, well, I'm sure it's, you know, whatever. It's got a tail gunner. It's got this, that, and the other. And I walk on the other side and I see a Enola Gay. I'm like, this is actually a very important plane.
I'm assuming Sushi is their dog.
The fastest land animal is me when I hear sushi.
Big facts. When I hear steak hit the grill, speed.
I don't have to run when I hear steak hits the grill because I put steak on the grill.
Big fat. That's the cat. Nice.
Yep.
So.
Well, answer.
I was trying to find it. Go ahead.
Cheetahs. They can accelerate from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds.
All right. What about the fastest fish? That would be any fish running away from sushi. What I was trying to get to is one of the guy. I think the guy on the Enola Gay that opened the bomb bay is from Banner Elk, North Carolina, where I grew up. Because I remember it being a big thing that the dude who like pulled the lever was from like pretty much from my hometown.
I feel like that's the dude who has to take on the most responsibility. Like, if you're the pilot or the person who's targeting or whatever, like, because it wasn't like you push a button in it. It was you said,
no, you opened it.
Like you said, like let it go or whatever, and then someone went yank, and then when it, like whoever was yanking it, like that's the dude.
Yep. So I was trying to remember. Oh, that's crazy. I always find it interesting the difference in sorry, I'm gonna get distracted here, so I might as well tell you that the correct answer for fish is the black marlin. It's been recorded stripping line off a fishing reel at 120 feet per second. otherwise known as 82 miles an hour.
Wait, is that one of the arches? One of the Japanese arches or
That's
whatever?
what I was wondering.
Yeah, because those are built to be load bearing that don't bear any load, so the force.
Yep.
Because they found a
It's
bunch.
perfectly distributed.
They found a bunch of those that were still standing after the bomb, and
It
they're
was actually a building.
they're architecturally. Oh, it's actually a building. Oh. There's just like a there's a safety zone when the bomb hits. If you're standing right next to it, you're fine. If you're 10 feet outside of it, you're fucked. So
Right,
you gotta
it's
play the catch game. If you can see it, like I got it.
I think what's crazy to me is like how, like, you know how we monitor Chernobyl, because
Yeah.
it's still super radioactive. It's crazy to me that there are people that inhabit it, like Hiroshima and Nagasaki now. Like, I know that they definitely have done some studies and there's a lot of bad stuff going on with it, but like there's still people there, and there were atomic weapons used. It is nuts.
Well, there's also with Chernobyl, there's still radioactive waste everywhere. I mean,
Waste being created because they just kind of were like, "This is bad. Poor seamen on leave."
I mean, what is it called? The elephant's foot or whatever. One of the rooms. It's so deadly that if you spend more than it's like 15 seconds or something like that in the room, the radiation will kill you.
Yeah, because basically, unless I'm sadly mistaken, I know a decent bit about Chernobyl because I got obsessed with atomic stuff for a long time. Yes, Kim, all the doggies. I'm very sorry. That's Kim's favorite, worst thing about Chernobyl is that they're animals that are mutated. But anyway, that the reactor is still like reacting. Like they couldn't get it to stop. It's an infinite reaction and just continues to go. And their only solution, as it burned through the center of the earth, was we should cover it with concrete to stall it. But anyway. But yeah, the graphite, it spewed the explosion through the graphite rods everywhere, and it's all over the place anyway. But yeah, Kim refuses to watch the HBO series because of the animal episode where
So
they leave the dogs behind.
It's
Oh, they kill them. That's right.
It's 5 minutes. So if you're in the room with the elephant's foot for 5 minutes, you will die in that room. So
Yeah, like the amount of radiation still leaking out of it will kill you in 5 minutes.
not
God,
like
we're on a cheery note today.
not like you will get cancer 10 years from now. It's like you will die in
You
that
will die
room.
there.
Yeah.
What's crazy about that is like the firefighters and people that went into it and like would go in for like 3 minutes and come back out and then go back in, and they cycled them in like that to try to keep them from dying, and then they all just died like 3 days later.
Oh no, the best show of like humanity is probably the old people in Japan when what was that reactor? You're silent. I think you knocked out your cable or something. Still can't hear you. But anyway, whatever the Japan nuclear meltdown was, bunch of old people were like, "Yeah, we're gonna die in like 5 years." Fukushima, yeah, like, we're gonna die in 5 years anyway. Like, just send us in. We don't care. Like, oh man, cancer's gonna kill us in 10 years. Now we're gonna die in 5 anyway. So fuck you.
Yeah, no, I did that. I guess that Fukushima was its own crazy nutty thing too, because that was the tsunami
Yep.
that screwed it up. But so my Discord for some reason keeps auto detecting sound devices. I don't know why. It's just been in that mood lately, and it'll just throw up a prompt. And it's like, oh, cool, I don't like your NVIDIA broadcast anymore. Done.
All right. Oh, I think this is you.
Is it?
Oh no, it's me. It's me.
It's you, 'cause I've been doing
the
the first.
fastest invertebrate.
That means no spine, right?
Yes, no spine.
I forget things.
So it's no fish follow. No, some fish fall under invertebrates, or follow under vertebrates, except for sharks because they have no bones in their body. Bugs, plants. What's the other thing?
I.
Yeah, anything without a spine. But
Kim thought we misspelled invertebrate. She thought it was spelled with an E, and then I had to slap her hand because she was wrong.
did she stick her hand out for you to slap?
She did. She literally did this, and I went to grab it, and she went, slap it. And I went, what? She's like, that's how I learned to spell. I beat to death.
I learned to spell the way the CIA tortures people. Was if I would. So like we would get.
What does that even mean?
We would get new words on. I was 10. Like, no, correction. I was like 7 or 8 when this happened. Is I would get a list of 10 words on Monday, and then the spelling test was on Friday, and then every day my dad would sit me down, and he'd be like, he would read off the words, and I would like I would do a spelling test there. Every one I got wrong, I would have to spell out correctly 10 times, and then he would give me the test again. And if I misspelled them incorrectly again, I would have to spell them out 10 times. There was one day I spent no joke, 5 hours on bullshit words, writing them out 10, 15 times per, over and over again, as he's screaming at me over my shoulder about, like, why the fuck did you get this wrong? We've already blah, blah, blah. There's a reason I hate him so much, and thank God he's not coming to my wedding.
All right, now this round has got even more real. We are so far behind time. What's the correct answer?
That's a horsefly. Holy shit, we are at
halftime at 15 after 8. We are not checking the scoreboard.
Let's just go. Let's go.
Yeah, so the male horsefly, 90 miles an hour. You all didn't know stuff. All right, guess what? Picture round. You all can do this. You look at the picture, you name the beer. It's really simple. Play it basic. Look at picture, name beer. Go.
I like beer.
I love beer. I do not like beer.
I like beer.
Kim's going. Kim's like, I don't know beer. In my head, when I read that though, I was thinking of the Dukes of Hazzard movie, the remake, and it has the dude that plays in he plays in Anchorman.
Oh,
the like kind of, he's one of the funny guys. Anyway, correct answer, which everybody got, was Budweiser.
Next one. How about this one?
I'm gonna go look it up real quick because you're gonna know who he is.
No, it's I know exactly who you're talking about. He does sports in Anchorman.
Yes, he is the sports guy.
Because he plays the mechanic in Dukes of Hazzard.
He plays the mechanic in Dukes of Hazzard. Correct.
Which do you know where the Dukes of Hazzard Museum is?
I mean,
it's somewhere off of 81 north of Virginia Tech.
It's in Lynchburg, I'm pretty sure. Actually.
Yeah. All right.
David Koshner.
The answer is Stella Artois.
Stella Artois. So I'm giving everybody credit for this, except
I did. I am.
Except Kim, who was wrong. Next, can you name this logo? Kim, you should get this one right. She's gonna forget this one. Oh, you don't know? What Kim forgets is this. This is what I used to drink when we went to where it had the SpongeBob burgers at Tech, the place that shut down.
Sharky's?
No. Behind Souvlaki near Sycamore Deli. Sycamore Deli shut down. They had like all their burgers and stuff were named after like SpongeBob. Like they had a Patrick.
Yeah.
They had SpongeBob characters. They had like I think Scooby-Doo. It was really cool.
The tugboat was my favorite. Mac and cheese and pulled pork barbecue on a brioche or on a sub bun. So good.
Kim got super excited because she thought she got it right. She wrote Blue Moon. That's incorrect. Matt Ellis convinced me to try Newcastle when we went down there. Because Newcastle was all I drank for a little while. It was terrible.
How about this beer? Take a bear back.
Okay, cool. So yeah, how about this beer? Doug has thrown it out here. This beer had some excellent commercials back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, they were fun. Their current round of commercials that's going around is also really good, except it's let's see. I mean, I'm not sure if that would give it away or not. No one can, well, some people can spell it, some people can't. I'm giving you credit for trying. That's all that matters. Kim is the only one who hasn't locked in her answer, and I think she would have gotten my hint, which is why I held off on it. But this is the only commercial she remembered when she memed Anheuser-Busch. We're not letting her redo it. Do you want to yell at the crowd what the answer is? Because everyone else has answered. It is Heineken. You got it wrong. No points for you. So I'm cutting this on around so y'all can hear her like yelling. What was that, dear? Are you doing okay? I don't think it's picking you up. You're not getting any points. So anyway, what I was referring to is Heineken's new commercials with zero alcohol, which have Ant-Man in them. Well, they have Ant-Man in them, Paul Rudd, because the ants keep stealing the beer and they tell him he can't drink, and he's like, guys, it's non-alcoholic. What about this one? Kim doesn't know beer. It's wonderful. Neither. I mean, I think I could have got most of these right, just because I'm weird about logos, but that's about it. Why is Doug using his air sprayer? Oh, is that Lysol? What are you Lysoling? Wait, hold on. I need to see the answers here. We're only at 4-6. I mean, yeah, that could be Crown Royal beer, Kim, but it's not. So I want to know first off what you were Lysoling, unless your farts literally chased you back to the room.
I have the vid, man. I gotta Lysol everything.
Oh, I forgot you have the vid. I absolutely forgot that you had the Rona.
I have the asymptomatic Rona, but yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, it sucks.
After I said Kim was wrong with Crown Royal beer, someone literally said this is just Crown Royal, which is not beer.
It's the worst thing about like when I was sick with Rona the first time, at least it made sense. Like I laid in bed, I suffered, I watched TV, like all that shit. Like I do that crap now. I don't go to work. I'm bored as fuck. Like
yeah, it's rough.
Like the suffering takes up the boredom. Like I'm just bored now.
Yeah, but guess what? Guess what, dude? I have a short day tomorrow, and you know what we're gonna do?
Ooh.
Play the Division.
Yeah, we are. Oh wait, hold on. My only. I have a 1 and a 3, and that's it. So
I gave you all the hint when Doug came back in the room. This was Corona. This is the Rona beer. Kim figured out Heineken after she memed an answer, and then got really upset and screamed at the mic vigorously the entire time to let me let her change it, and I wouldn't. You're not getting a point. Then you should have waited and taken your time instead of writing Anheuser-Busch for every answer. Quit shaking my screen.
Is that what's going on?
He was grabbing the corner of my screen and shaking it. My camera's mounted to the screen. You're not getting a point. That's not how this works. If you keep this up, I'll reset you to 0. I have the power.
I'll do it right now just because.
Doug will do it right now just because. She said stop. Do you even drink beer if you don't know this one? Crown Royal beer. Well, so, no, Kitty, that's what's funny is that one person, Kim wrote Crown Royal beer, which is hilarious because it was at least a crown. But then another member of the family, I think, of the Bungholes, literally wrote Crown Royal. Or maybe it wasn't. No, definitely was. Bunghole Spalding just wrote Crown Royal.
I want to
maybe that was just memeing for what I said, but that's still whiskey.
I want to exclamation point grammar all of you for this, but I'm gonna give it to you, except for Scrappy and Tiny, who spelled genies.
Dog. Give them credit. Secondly, you should go back and look at how some of them spelled Heineken. It's because I want Crown Royal, duh.
Can I have a point?
You got a point for getting your... Oh, Guinness? No. You're not getting a point for Heineken. That ship has sailed.
We gave it to genies. Everyone got points there. Getting tougher. Which one's this?
We are getting so off subject. Kim is like in here screaming at me about.
Oh,
Heineken.
she is so into this.
So upset about Heineken, dude.
Why can't we have more fans that are that vocal and that invested in trivia? Kim, you are a real one.
Doug said you're a real one because you're invested in your points. The only reason I'm not cutting it back on surround sound and cutting the gain up because she just keeps shouting. Don't know what's going on.
We need to get her on here, not to host, just to see her reactions the whole time.
No, literally, the trivia title would change from Doug and Lucas do trivia to Doug and Lucas are critiqued by Lucas's wife while they host trivia.
Isn't that
That's
what?
what it-
Isn't that what Grandma is supposed to be?
I'm pretty sure that's what Grandma is supposed to be, but Kim doesn't have the stream open tonight because she left her computer in there. But she, as you well know, doesn't listen to us because
Yeah.
Grandma will be her favorite thing, and she just doesn't realize it. Also, she wrote Mustang beer for this one.
Well, the
I
answer
don't
is
even know why that's funny.
There's
It's-
horse stop.
it's
Are there horses on
Amstel.
it?
It's also
I
the
mean, Ferrari beer would have been
it's
funnier.
the Polish flag.
It's the Polish flags. Lamborghini has a bull on it. Anyway. All right.
In
Hold
Ryan,
on.
in Ryan's,
Ryan's.
in Ryan's opinion,
Last one, go. Save the hardest for last. In Ryan's honest opinion.
see,
Oh,
Ben,
God, I got
Ben,
to.
we
do
said
it.
the same thing at his wedding, and he just got a death stare from Kim, so we don't know anymore.
She's staring at me again. She said this looks like an action square, like bam.
Look what I wrote.
Hold on, no.
Dude,
no. Are all the answers? I know
Kablam!
I can't do the thing I
Dude,
want to do.
Kablam was the best show on. Oh my gosh!
Kablam! Come on. I love how people are answering things that were already answers. That was my favorite. When we got halfway through Corona and someone was like, Newcastle! You should have wrote Heineken. I would have given you no credit, but we would have laughed. What did I want to say? Real man of genius. Which isn't this, but no, what did I want to do? I
Brilliant!
wanted to do something.
A little,
Brilliant! No, that was Guinness. I love that one too.
a little
But-
black book.
What did I want to do here?
Remember when that was a thing? Like having a little black book was like a mark of
Yeah.
honor.
No, let me talk to you real quick about how my friend gave me his book that he bought at Barnes & Noble called The Little Black Book that had sex and pickup line suggestions in it. So I had a little black book that was like suggestions. It wasn't even like in the real honor of a black book. It was so dumb. I have no clue what happened to that thing, thank God. What was the Miller High Life commercial? That's it.
Real men of genius.
That wasn't Miller, was it?
That was Miller High Life.
Well, High Life, all I can think of is, what's his name? Because he just hold it up and say that.
Oh no,
But
it
anyway,
was
I
Bud
figured it
Light. Never mind.
Yeah.
Bud Light was Real Men of Genius. Oh, did you ever hear the BT Real Men of Genius?
No.
Here's to you, man, who fits on 100 people onto a 50 capacity bus, listens to drunken people.
Oh,
That was
yes.
so good.
Yes. I forgot the BT, Blacksburg Transport, for anyone wondering. It was the buses that ran around, or Blacksburg Transit, the buses that ran around Tech.
That's the only way
I
that's.
actually knew one of the bus drivers.
I mean, Chaz was a BT driver forever. So was Travis.
Well, it was, when we first got there, one of our drum majors was one as well, not the blonde one, the black-haired one. Damn, how am I gonna forget his name? Been way too long. That's
Not-
why.
Not
Miller
John.
High Life.
They're the
No,
one.
not John, the other one. Yep.
Yeah.
Go to the next question. Here we go.
All right, go to the next round. Oh, this is
50-50
this.
round.
All right, hold on. Let me pull this
Are
up.
we
I
gonna do the
just.
true spirit of the fit? We're not doing the 50-50 round tonight. We gotta hurry.
We can do this. We can hurry in 50th round. Hold on.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. We did it in 2 minutes and 40 seconds
40
last time.
Yep.
So we're gonna do 2 minutes and 35 seconds this time. All right.
All right, as you all know, the amazing 50-50 round, it's the same as always. You have 2 minutes and 50 seconds. You want to name it as quickly as possible, and you have one of two options. Easy peasy, y'all got it, good. We're going to give you a product. What you're going to tell me is, has this product legally become a generic term, or is it a name brand that has rooted itself in your brain and is still trademarked? So, for one that's not in here, basically your example is a Xerox machine is not a Xerox. That's not the generic term. It's actually just a copy machine, but Xerox is so popular that people call that brand name. They act like it's a generic term. So tell me if it's a generic term or not. Your first one, and it will be read twice before the timer starts, is the crock pot. I repeat again, differentiate between generic term or brand name. Is it a trademarked brand name or just a generic term? The crock pot. Go. So is
And
crock
begin.
pot generic or is it a brand?
You became really tinny when you changed it to the all around.
Oh, did I? Also, I cut off my
There you go. All right.
There we go. You thought that's a brand name.
Flashback for us old people. What about videotape?
Do.
5, 6. All right, that is a generic term.
Next is not letting me release scores. Go, Doug.
Yo-yo. Generic term or not?
Brand name.
Or you thought?
You thought?
All right,
Correct answer
that's
here.
generic term. Take the
Next one. What about the giant canister you should use behind the food line for your trash? The dumpster. Let's try to make myself no longer tinny. It's done. That is a you thought. That's a brand name.
What did I think wrapped around my drink? A koozie.
Video.
Grammar what?
Another reason was there we go. Don't worry about grammar right now. We ain't got time for that. It's the 50-50 round.
A minute and 10 seconds left. You thought?
Yeah, you did.
Next.
Next one. We use them every day. What about a zipper? This is going to be fun to go back over, by the way.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Done and done. That's a generic term.
Okay, it's not letting me ask it. Next one.
While we are getting away from using it, what about those containers and cups called styrofoam? Six of 6 in. You thought that's a brand name. Last
Last one of this round. What about seeing eye dog?
Oh, it got
20
wager credit. I changed this. This is
20
bullshit. Oh well, whatever.
22
How
seconds.
long are we on time? How much?
22 seconds. 15 seconds.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. Bung,
12,
Bungy 2
11,
Bungy 2 is
10,
gonna lose it for the
9,
team.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa! With 1 second left.
Wow. Correct answer on this last one, by the way. You thought Seeing Eye Dog is a brand name.
All right, let's go. Let's go back
let's go back
and
and do the review because this was a super fun round.
that was a lot of fun.
All right, so starting at the beginning, the Crock-Pot, if you didn't know, it's just a slow cooker. Crock-Pot is literally the brand that you own.
Videotape is a generic term, but it was originally owned by Ampex Core.
So they were one of the first companies to make videotapes, and they actually videotape VHS was trademarked at first, but came out of its trademark. So all the ones that are generic terms lost their trademark over time because it became so synonymous that the government was like, yeah, you can't trademark it anymore. Pizza. Yo-yo is a generic term, but it was owned by Papa's Toy Company in Canada.
Was improperly issued, apparently.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why.
Oh, explain this one because I got a kick out of it from last night.
So, 36 was dumpsters. Dumpsters are a brand name. There's a company called the Dempster Dumpmaster, and that's what you see behind pretty much everywhere. So dumpster is the brand name. They're just large trash receptacles. They're called rollaways in England. I mean, I'm sorry if you were confused by the prompt, but I can only explain it. It was either you thought it was a brand, like you thought that this was a generic term, but it wasn't. But anyway, yeah, dumpsters are like, they're a brand name. They're owned by a company that is trademarked.
Well, so koozies are not koozies. They're actually can insulators. They're trademarked in the 80s by Radio Cap Core.
I find that hilarious too, because koozie in my head is just so synonymous with that thing. Zippers, while they are a generic term, they were actually originally trademarked by BF Goodwrench to be used on boots. So zipper was the term, became the term, but originally it was only a zipper if it was on a boot from BF Goodwrench. I guess it was just called a zipping latch or something. But yeah, Zipper became so synonymous again that just became the generic term. They lost their trademark. What does
Right.
pick up styrofoam? Yeah,
Polystyrene. Oh, no, take it.
it's polystyrene. Styrofoam is the Chemical Dow Company's version. We just call it styrofoam, but it's actually owned by Chemical Dow. And then last but not least was Seeing Eye Dog. Seeing Eye Dogs are only trained in Seeing Eye at the Seeing Eye Company in Morristown, New Jersey. If they're not trained at that particular place, it's just a guide dog. We just call them Seeing Eye Dogs because that became the popular term. I was sad though, because what I really wanted to do on the final one was curveball it and ask you all how long a trademark lasts. Because that's pretty much what this round came down to.
Wait,
Trademarks
is it?
are indefinite. They go on forever. Unlike a patent or anything else, if you have something trademarked, you own it until you stop using it or claiming it. So the dumpster most likely is about to become a generic term because that company doesn't enforce their trademark. They don't like claim it anymore. It was a company from the 30s, the Dumpmaster Company. And because of that, they could lose their trademark. And once they lose their trademark by not using it, the government can basically decide that it's no longer a trademark and it becomes a generic term. So if Crock-Pot stopped putting Crock-Pot things on their Crock-Pots, eventually slow cookers could become Crock-Pots. And that could just be the term that we call them, which is nuts to me. But anyway.
I mean, now we have
50 round.
now we have pressure
We
cookers.
didn't.
Fuck.
Now we have, you mean Instant Pots?
Instapots, yeah. we just got a Ninja Foodie, which is like a 12-in-1. It's a slow cooker, an Instapot, a fryer. It's this whole thing. All right, hold on. You got your punishment.
I don't have a punishment. I'm not creative enough. Why don't you start the next question while you deal with your hiccups?
1 second.
Oh boy, this could be fun. Actually, I'm going to start our next question, and then I'll go grab my punishment real quick, because Doug has the hiccups. Doug hasn't been able to let his freak flag fly. So let's talk about D&D. First up, no.
Reread that.
Doug hasn't been able to let his freak geek flag fly. So let's talk about D&D. Sorry, I excluded the geek part. First up, what is the current edition Wizard of the Coast's publisher with hold on. First up, what is the current edition Wizard of the Coast publishes of the game? What's the current D&D edition? Good lord. I think that might be written right. My brain just refused to do it.
I mean, it's. I will leave that, guys, up to you, but you do have the ability to grammar. Just saying. Although I guess since we said that punctuation doesn't count, it is technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. We're also missing Cam. I don't think I can yell loud enough for her to hear me, but alright, I'm gonna give it till it's Cam. Cam, answer the question. Cam, answer the question. I heard it that time. Kim! Answer the question. Alright, she answered the question. Cool. We are currently on the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, or 5E. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, and 5. So, well, lately it's been super controversial. They've been talking about going to 5.5E. Which is, 5.1E. But 5.1E essentially is that you have to sign a disclaimer saying that any money that you make off of using D&D, there is a what is it called? A copyright or a use fee, essentially. So if you ever watched like Critical Role or Dimension 20 or any of like the big D&D podcasts or shows, 5.1e, the only difference was you were signing a contract saying if you make any money off of D&D, you have to pay us some of that money, and everyone lost their fucking shit. And
Yes, they did.
Wizards of the Coast came back. So Wizards of the Coast is like the company that owns D&D. And they came back and said, "Oh, well, we heard the community, and we're going to change this because
bad vibe.
it was the biggest apology, not apology ever, because they were like, this wasn't anything about winning or losing. This was about us hearing what you had to say and changing what we're going to do." It's like, no. You put this thing out, literally everyone, including the biggest the biggest like come to D&D podcast ever, which is Critical Role.
Critical Role.
They came out and said like, this is bullshit. And everyone's like, well, I guess we're gonna use Pathfinder instead. And they're like, no, we're gonna
Baby.
Yep. So
We'll just use Pathfinder.
yep. So
All right. Since Mama Fafro and Ben were both disappointed in my round explanation, it's not a shot glass. There's a lot there. It's a big thing.
shall we?
Punishment indeed, my friend. To you.
To
our
you.
friends. Sorry the round didn't go so well, ladies and gentlemen. That was smooth, but God, I hate it. It was not designed.
All
It
right.
was not designed for that life. Someone cue up LFMAO. Oh God. Read. I read the first one.
If you enjoy being self-righteous and smiting your enemies, what class would you probably prefer in D&D?
Actually, that would be the trap class. Gotta love trap.
I'm sorry. What's her name? Erika Ishii is my favorite. Like, she's just chaos. She is chaos
So did you,
incarnate.
Yeah, I know you sometimes listen or watch. It does smell like dry erase board. You're correct. That's kind of what whiskey smells like sometimes. I'm just observing goes, what smells like dry erase? And now she's retching. Answer the question so we can go on with life.
Answer. Oh wait, we're waiting for her.
Yeah, if you enjoy being self-righteous and smiting your enemies, what class would you probably prefer? She said that the dry erase board smell is so strong, she couldn't even read the question. And she got it right. Big surprise. Correct answer?
You would be a paladin because paladins cast different kinds of smite.
Doug and I both have played paladins. We kind of like that class.
Yeah.
That's what I play in WoW. Doug has played it in at least one of the D&D campaigns we played together.
If you want to be able to smack the shit out of your enemies and also kind of heal your friends, you play
A little bit.
paladin.
No,
Oh,
you
oh.
want to touch your friends. You want to touch them. 'Cause paladins
Stroke
have
it.
healing touch.
Healing touch. If you want to stroke it,
Dungeons and Dragons has started to become mainstream cool. I bet the creator never thought it would get as big as it did. Who is the creator of Dungeons and Dragons?
I will say one of. There are two. I listed one of the bigger
Is
one.
definitely the popular one. He's the one that people associate with it.
Yep.
So-
Also, if you have not watched Harmon Quest,
it is worth your time.
it's for those of you
And then some.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, Dan Harmon is behind Community, Rick and Morty, a couple other things. Essentially what he does is it's him, his ex-wife, one of the writers from Community is the DM, and I forget who the other guy is. And they bring in a guest star every episode. So like Camille Nanjiani has been on it. What's his face from Silicon Valley, the skinny white kid. Patton Oswalt. will play like one-off characters in each episode, and it's this continuing story arc, and it's just complete. It's complete bullshit the whole time, and it is hilarious. And the DM just rolls with it. It's great.
The right answer here is Gary Gygax, or Ernest Gary Gygax. His partner David Arneson, and they published it in 1974.
So David Arneson was the what's the word? I'm gonna say QA, because Gary came up with the ideas. David Arneson made it like work essentially.
So he made like mechanics. So it was
Well, no, like
out of Gygax and
so
Arneson made it into an actual game.
Well, yeah, like so Gygax came up with everything, and he's like, yeah, this is what a beholder is, and this is what the powers I want it to be. And Arneson was like, well, this is how we make the powers not like one-sided, so it wipes out everyone in one turn, kind of stuff.
Ooh.
So when it first came out, Dungeons & Dragons created some mass hysteria among parents, politicians, and the less informed. What was this period of time called? This is actually a legitimate time period in U.S. history.
I was trying to think of what we were talking about before we got off on Harmon Quest, because I was going to tell you something. Oh, Erika Ishii.
Erika Ishii, yeah.
Was in episodes of The Adventure Zone. She did some of the one-offs
Really?
of The Adventure Zone guys.
Ooh.
And her and the dad get along really well, and it's hilarious to me. I love it.
Dude, Erika is like chaos incarnate every time she plays, and it's amazing. My favorite, I watch a shit ton of Dimension 20, and my favorite is Escape from the Bloodkeep and her playing the spider like woman, and how like it's all about like self-confidence and being a single mother. It's so great.
She's amazing, dude. I enjoy everything she does. Erika Ishii.
Her and Lou,
Yes, Lou's great. I can't remember his
I
last
can't
name.
remember his name, but him in
Dimension 20.
Fantasy High, when
We haven't done that yet.
you haven't?
Yet.
He's
Fantasy High. Okay.
he is the spoiled child of a pirate, and he's like,
Oh wow.
all he speaks is so it's after Dad has become essentially privateer. So he's like high class, like, oh Papa, I think I'm going to do good at the ball game today, and it makes me laugh. It just laugh hysterically the whole time.
That is Lou Wilson, by the way.
Lou Wilson. Also, Brennan Lee Mulligan is the best DM of all time. Don't at me, bro.
Brennan Lee Mulligan is just an amazing human. Don't at me, bro. As Doug takes zero off, the time that he was there for is the Satanic Panic. Satanic Panic. That great time in history, we wave hi to Allie, and we read the next question. Fireball is a very well-known spell in the world of fantasy, but what kind of spell is it? Yeah, we finished the Satanic Panic and moved on. What did we use this gift for before?
I don't know. We've used it before for a D&D round, I'm sure. Well, because
I used it for something that wasn't D&D.
It's the crit roll crew, though.
It is crit roll. Yeah. 6 of 6 in. It is a area of effect spell. It's essentially a bomb that you lob into the middle of a group, and anyone, friends included, in that area get intimate with what it feels like to be on fire. Yeah.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
Fireball. Yep.
So every race has a racial ability. What race, though, has the ability to have a magic breath attack?
Magic breath. We call that the crest attack, actually. Colgate? I don't know.
What is it? Five gum.
5 gum. What happens to you when you have 5 gum? You become a dragonborn.
Well,
I checked first.
It's all fun. Yeah, that's a Dragonborn. So Dragonborn, depending on the color, you choose for their scales. So you choose red, black, silver, gold. Yeah. There's chromatic, and then there's I forget what the other ones are called. But anyway, you can elemental breath attack once per long rest. It can be fire, ice, poison, lightning, etc., etc. So Dragonborn is the correct answer.
You were a Dragonborn in our last campaign, weren't you? Weren't you a Dragonborn paladin? I
Yep.
thought so. A lot of dice are used in Dungeons and Dragons, but if I tell you to roll your dodecahedron, how many sides does that one have? Me being terrible at grammar and yet know that word way too well. Nat 20. Love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you all guessed, and we fooled you. A dodecahedron is the most well-known word, but it is not the 20-sided dice. The dodecahedron is the 12-sided dice. I don't actually know what the 20-sided die would be called.
Well, speaking of that, this one's for all you people who, that's what you put grammar on us all the time. Tell me what a 20-sided shape is called. A dice, perhaps. One that is used the most in Dungeons and Dragons. What is a 20-sided shape called?
I'm really glad that you stopped me because I was going to look it up real quick.
Roll for initiative, suckers!
Roll for initiative. Here we go.
Tiny Tina is the best character ever.
I would never have got this. Let's see here.
Dodecahedron?
Well, worth a shot, I guess.
No. Deca Rolly Boy?
Oh.
Fuckahedron.
I'm definitely a fan of Fuckahedron. That's pretty good.
Fuckahedron's my favorite so
F
far.
around and find out. That's what this dice says.
I'm sorry, you want to
Literally,
do...
that dice sides literally just say find out.
Yeah.
Ooh. I
Ooh.
like Ventahedron too. That's actually really good.
I need Marvin to
wrong.
I need Marvin to print me off a dice now that and Nat 20 says fuck around, and Nat 1 says find out.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it.
Oh wow.
That's it. That's
Damn.
7 points.
Okay. The answer is icosahedron.
And Krusty the Bunghole got it.
20-sided dice are used for everything you do in D&D. Not many people know it's called an icosahedron.
There you go.
With that, our scores in first place, Bunghole Gacy. Oh shit, 91.843. Second place, Krusty the Bunghole, 91.423.
7 points weren't enough.
Scrappy and Tiny, 71.142. 56.88. Bungy Two Hole, 52.688, and Bunghole Spalding, 50.834.
There it is. It's another round. Another week. Another trivia.
We're gonna be back next week. The same time, same place. We are 3 weeks out from our wrestling. So we hope you brush up on all your stuff, cause ooh, brother, we're gonna have some good questions for you.
You're gonna want to step. Hold on. Let me tell you now, Daddy. You're gonna want to take all 30 years and look them up. Look them all up. Go into the mines and the steel factories, down into the governors of wrestling, and find out where they take your job, Daddy, and learn them all. And then just for fun. Woo! Because he was yelling at Ric Flair, but that's besides the point. Ric Flair takes your job, Daddy. Sorry, I get really excited when Dusty Rhodes yells at Ric Flair. It brings me great joy. It doesn't matter what you think.
Or if you want the Scott son, you know they say all men are created equal, but you look at me, you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you have a 50-50 chance of winning, but I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you have a 25% 25% chance at best at beating me, and then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. You see the 3-way at sacrifice. You got a 33 and a third chance winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance winning, because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me. And he's not even going to try. So Samoa Joe, you can take your 33 and a third percent chance minus my 25% chance of winning. You got an 8 and a third percent chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you took my 75% chance of winning if we was going to go one-on-one. And then at 66 and 2/3% chance, I got 141% and 2/3% chance of winning at sacrifice. Senor Joe, the numbers don't lie, and it is a disaster for you at sacrifice.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. We've enjoyed your company. We're sorry if you had a bad time. We hope you had a good time. Congratulations to Bunghole Gacy for pulling it out just barely over the crusty bunghole. That all just sounds so terrible in the mouthfeel.
So bad.
I just want you all to know that we love you, we care about you, and we thank you so much for coming. We hope you have a wonderful slide into your weekend, and have a wonderful time as we roll around for next weekend before we get ready for wrestling time. Doug,
Wrestling.
take us home.
If no one's told you this week, we're proud of you. We think you're doing amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Fuck everyone else. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.